Dal here again. We're going to continue our discussion about drums. Specifically, this time we're going to be dealing with sound off. There's various types of them, and this is one type. I have one here on the three tom toms, and this is another type for the snare drum. I really like this one because the snare drum is the loudest item. And I've got actually three things on it. I got a sound off like I just showed you, and here it is without the, and then I'll put these on and see how it goes. There's that. And this has just got a item that's in the middle here that's thicker, which where normally the drums get hit. Not always, but normally they're hit there. And then this, so you just heard it without the, and that's with these heavier sticks with these practice covers to them. They just slide right on. So we got three sound offs on the snare. You heard what it sounded like with these, even with these rubber tips, practice tips. And so you heard, that's compared to what it was before when I jumped a little bit. So if you're in an apartment or in a situation where you can't make too much noise without angering some people or inconveniencing people, this is, let's see, one, two, three different ways of showing you. And then the fourth way is one of these. They make other things too, but and I'll try this with a regular stick to show you. So that does take a lot of ping out of it. And this is just a mouse pad, so if you don't want to go to a music store and spend music store prices for items, you could make yourself something out of this kind of rubber material, or your mouse pads. I have another sound off under there. There's one under the hi-hat here as well, and this flips underneath. And again on the other side. So that's another thing. And let's see, I'll show you what it is. It might be, not everybody's in the situation where they have to be quiet, but this is, thing is I got pillows inside of the kick drum. People call it a bass drum, kick drum, whatever, and that takes care of some of that. And let's see what else. This doesn't make that much noise. This is out of all these items, I like this one the best. But again, it depends on what kind of situation you're in. You may not need to have something like this. You may not want it. It defeats the purpose of the most drummers. They get, especially rock and roll drummers, they want to wake up the dead. They don't fool around with it. Nobody can hear them. They want to get. And also, since the late '60s. The microphone situation changed where you could mic up individual items that you see up on the stage. That means every item you see, the tom-toms, the bass, the snare, you could hang cymbals from, hang a mic from the top or up underneath, or things changed, and so it affected the acoustics and so forth and the loudness of the drums. But if you're in a situation where you can still practice, you can still do your act, and not make a lot of noise and not offend anybody, then these things might be what's for you. And then also they're easy to take off. Normally these things are easy. These sound offs are a little bit more involved to take these off, but it just involves undoing the wing nut and pull it out in that piece of felt there, and then and just take it off. I'll just see if I can show you the difference on this. It's called the 4-tom. There it is without the sound off, and there it is with the sound off. So you can see it's a pretty big difference. And there are other items too. There's an outfit named Bat King that has cymbals, and they have a lot of little holes in them. It's all filled up with little holes, and I think their inexpensive line is stainless. So you'd have maybe 3 cymbals, a ride, a crash, or maybe a combination, and then you would have the hi-hat as well. So and those things have a nice ping to them, a nice sound. They have a nice bell to it. This is the bell up here, under here. This should sound different from this, should sound different from this, and should sound different if you're just hitting the edge with the stick. It's like 3-4 different sounds. And so I do like those cymbals. I've just seen them recently, and there are 3 different substances and three different prices. And so the least expensive was the steel. And then the other ones go up into brass or bronze or whatever. And so I hope this helps. There might be somebody out there that needs to keep quiet with their drums, and it would allow them to still practice and still get their time in. So I hope this is of value to somebody.